Welcome back to another episode of Talking Tarkov. I'm the Early Athlete here with,
Hey, Dizzle.
and today, with the Tokyo Game Show wrapping up, not only did we get a bunch of really cool uploads on Twitter, but we also got a bunch of information to go over. Pretty well all of it's from the interview that Nikita did while there. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Thank you to Very Bad Scav, right, for putting this into a nice, neat, organized file for us.
Yeah, he summarized everything.
Yeah, very nice. So we'll just start at the top and kind of work through and see what really catches our attention. I know there's a couple things on this list that are really cool. So post 1.0 direction, each season will include unique surprise elements. ESG initially or intentionally hides secrets for players to discover. There will be seasonal characters with wipes, and then there will also be a permanent character, which is insane. We're getting like this ARPG style seasonal characters to where you can grind out to get the maximum rewards and get the best stuff that you can possibly get, while still having your permanent character that you're essentially going through the PvE play style where you're just pacing at your own timing. You don't have to worry about the account ever wiping because it just won't, right? So you can have your grind sessions that you want to just balls to the wall. I don't care about my skill, my stats. I don't care about hideout. I don't care about this or that. I just want to get these rewards. Um, and then the other side of it, you can just chill out. You don't want to sit there and try to grind shooter born for 6 days and just die constantly while you continue to whiff your shots. It's not exactly fun.
Yeah. Yeah, and it plays into where he had talked before about having like a separate hardcore character.
Yeah,
So I feel like that's probably something they're going to lean into is the ability to have just different characters for different play styles. Like, so you don't have to start a whole new, you don't have to wipe your character and all your progress just to
right.
start a whole new playthrough.
It,
And
and
that
you don't
is
need
just
multiple accounts necessarily anymore either.
right. Yeah. Because that's the thing is like, if you didn't want to wipe your character, you had to just buy another account. And the fact that now you won't have to it's a big move that they've always really needed to do. But I understand why they waited. It's like 1.0 is the perfect time to add that. But yeah, I'm happy for it.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's really cool. Because and then it kind of like lets you decide how you want to play each time going into it, and then you're not necessarily. It sounds like maybe the seasonal characters will obviously be on a wipe cycle.
Right.
So never mind with that. Yeah, it'll still be. I wonder if it's shortened seasons or if it'll be like a 6 to 9 month process instead. I'm not sure. I
I
don't think he
th-
went
I
into
think
depth
they'll
on
be
it.
longer. I think they'll be longer because he had always spoke before that wipes were not going to be as constant once 1.0 hit.
True.
So, but he had also said that, like before they were thinking about having servers that wiped and then permanent servers, like you could play on each one. So it's like, I don't know how they're going to do that or how they're going to combine it. And this could just be a
It sounds
slice of
like.
things. Like there could be more to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and it kind of sounds like too that we probably are getting separate servers because like on Diablo or Path of Exile, when you do a seasonal character, it's on a separate server, and when you have your permanent character, it's on its own server. You can't group with players that are on seasonal character, or maybe you can. I don't know exactly how that works. I haven't played in a long time. But essentially, you're on separate servers, and I feel like that's really the only way it would work here too. Because if one is wiping not constantly, but consistently, and the other one is not, it doesn't make sense to let those guys that are I just refuse to wipe, and I'm just going to kill all these freshies as they come in, season after season after season. I'm going to, have everything.
Yeah.
I'm going to be sitting at max level. I'm going to be running thermals and T7s, and you know what I mean. Like you're just going crazy with it. So you almost have to have them on separate servers, and I would imagine that
Yeah.
is the case, which is
Yeah. And they'll
good.
probably do it just like they do the PvE servers. Like, you got your PvE servers that are,
Local and then
the same
online,
game.
right?
Yeah. But you basically can just run them straight through your own computer. So they might do stuff like that where it's like, you basically can run it on your own PC, but the actual online servers will keep track of your items and stuff. I don't know, like
It's
they
interesting
can't do
because a game
that.
like
Yeah,
Tarkov is
it's
weird to do it with.
yeah. I don't know how they'll do it. Like it's
I'm
going
not
to be
sure either.
different.
I'd
I'm
imagine
interested
obviously they
though.
have something planned out, right? That's
Yeah, yeah, they
without a doubt.
definitely do. Because
But
he's been
yeah,
talking about this for a while, like hinting at this. So they've had a plan, and it seems like it's definitely going to be like server based characters, and hopefully we get a few different ones, like not just the seasonal, but maybe we get like 3 or 4 per account or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That would be pretty ideal though. Let's see. And then we're, as we already know, I think everybody at this point knows, or at least most people know, we're getting new weapons, new gear, and ongoing content is planned for the next 5+ years after 1.0, which tells me two things, right? And I'll go with the worst one first, which is, are we not getting everything up front? Are we not getting all the guns that are going to be, 1.0 and after? Are we going to have to wait as they release gun by gun by gun? Same for gear and armor and everything else. There's a few things that kind of raise some flags there, but at the same time, it's like we have content planned for Tarkov at minimum 5 years. Pretty
Well,
cool.
I look at that more as obviously there's a ton of stuff for 1.0, but then they're going to continue to make new content. You know what I mean? Like new weapons, new gear. Like we're definitely going to get a,
Without a
I
doubt. Yeah, yeah,
imagine,
yeah. For sure,
yeah,
get
I
a
imagine
chunk of stuff, right?
a good chunk of it with 1.0. And then I would assume, just getting all the 1.0 stuff, there's probably going to be like weapons that are tied to seasons that are kind of like, in line with the season. They kind of make sense for that, or, gear that makes sense for that season. I would hope it's all new stuff that they haven't held back.
Yeah. And I mean, the amount of stuff they've teased over time, if they just dump that on us at 1.0, there's still so many types of gear and firearms and ammunition, and so many different things that can go into the future of Tarkov. For the next 5 years plus, you could upload a
Yeah,
new gun every so often and still continue to have plenty to go through.
yeah, yeah. I don't think we'll be lacking on content. I'm pretty sure they've had, a bunch of stuff on the back burner just waiting. And I think we will get most of that at 1.0. But then again, even if we don't get a ton, I'm sure we'll get enough to be interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And I have no doubt in my mind that with 1.0, there will most likely be a bunch of new
Yeah,
gear.
yeah.
Um,
They know we're expecting it. They don't want to fall
right.
short. Like,
And I mean, they've
they've
been
hyped it
teasing
up.
so much stuff and hyping it. Oh yeah, exactly. And just in like screenshots, in the Nikki leaks, in the teases specifically for the guns, like the lever action.
Well,
There are so many teases we've got.
even in Tarkov community, how many times did, developers come in there and say planned or in progress? You know what I mean? Like
That's true.
for certain
That is
guns.
true.
So it's like,
Yeah,
yeah.
the
So it's
Bryn,
not
the
like just
Galil,
leaks.
all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
It's not just leaks. We've had confirmation from devs that, they are working on a ton of different weapon systems. So,
for sure. Yeah, that's cool. It's cool. It's gonna be exciting. I mean, 1.0 is extremely close. Like 34, 40, like 50 days roughly. We're so
yeah.
close, right? I know last time me and Adam were talking about 1.0 was at the 2 month mark, and we kept saying 1 month, so we apologize for that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we kind of
Yeah.
always look over October. To us, it doesn't exist. Our religion doesn't
No.
really recognize October, so take it up with
Well,
Santeria,
it's, yeah.
Mongoli.
We have Mayan calendars. So it's like, ever since the year 2000, we've been all messed up.
Yeah, it just things kind of stopped existing there for a while too. We
Yeah.
calendars just stopped. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what you guys want from us with that.
No,
Respect what we
but
do.
honestly, it's like 1.0, it's it's exciting, but it's like I'm just I don't know. It's like even if there wasn't like a ton of great new stuff, it's like just the fact that it's finally at 1.0. It's like that
The official start of the game, the full
yeah,
release. This is what Tarkov fully realized is no more.
that is exciting enough, for me.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm not trying to downplay what's coming at
No, no,
all.
no. I know you're
I
not.
just know
Yeah,
how a
yeah. I
lot
know
of
you're not.
people are going to be like, "Oh, what are we?"
Oh, absolutely. If they
Um,
don't drop a crazy amount of stuff, they're going to get flamed big time.
I think
Like
they get
it's
flamed no
just
matter what.
yeah, yeah, and they know that. But like I said, we've had enough dev confirmations that a ton of stuff is coming. A
Definitely
ton of
coming.
stuff is
Yeah,
being worked on.
yeah.
Um, but it's like I know just people like us who love the game. It's like just getting to there is an accomplishment, and it's like to me, I won't be, one of those people who's upset with whatever we get. I'll be happy with whatever.
Yeah, I'm so stoked to get into it. It could be well, there's not just the guns and gear and the new stuff that we're getting, quote unquote, but it's the storyline. We're getting
Yeah.
why we're in Tarkov. We're finding out how we leave Tarkov, if we even leave Tarkov. Is it in body bag? Is it actually escaping? Like, what are we doing? We get answers. We get cutscenes. We get all kinds of story progression stuff. We get a rework to the task system. We get test drive updated. We get all these things that we've been waiting on and waiting on and waiting on, and it's been building up and building up. And all these things are like, just wait. For years and years. So it's like, yeah, this coming to a realization and us finally getting to see it, maybe not the entire story of Tarkov, right? But at least the start to finish of this story of Tarkov. Where we
Yeah.
go from here is up to them, but we have a start and a finish to this specific situation.
There's for sure going to be enough stuff to keep me busy for at least a month before I switch to Arc Raiders and Arena Breakout.
Yeah, Arena
Um,
Breakout's really doing its thing right now.
yeah, and Arc Raiders too. It's like I think that's my main game after this. I'm joking. I'm not really doing that.
I'll
That's
definitely
just
check out Arc
parroting
Raiders
what
because it's
everybody
like,
else says.
yeah, Arc Raiders it seems like the fun arcadey. It's like the Apex Legends of extraction
Yeah,
shooters. It's
yeah.
what it kind of feels like to me. So I'll probably go check it out a little bit, but I don't think it's gonna. Honestly, with 1.0, depending on how
Well,
how grasp or how hard it grasps me, I may not get off any of Tarkov at any point in time.
pre-orders are up, and it's $40 for the standard, 60 for the like advanced. And they're doing a new beta, I think, on the 15th. Or no, it's a couple because it drops on the 15th. They're doing like a beta like 2 days before that, so maybe like on the 12th or 13th.
Nice.
It's an open beta for 2 days, so it gives you 2 days to kind of check it out and see if you really want to buy it. Which I don't see myself doing it. Like I said, I've played that game quite a bit, considering I've had it. I had access to the open betas way before anybody else even knew what it was, and I don't know. It's good, but I'm way more excited for Tarkov.
Way more excited. Just everything we've heard leading up to this point, all the the leaks, the official leaks from BSG, the unofficial leaks that have come out, all the speculation, it's just everything that we've seen building up for 1.0 has been so good already. I can't explain how excited I am for this to happen.
Well, and then the
Um,
confirmations that we got in this last interview, like all this stuff we're going over right now, there's a lot of stuff in here that I wasn't sure about that now I'm pretty happy to see. Um,
let's go
it's
ahead and move on to the next one because it is a lot of really
yeah,
cool stuff.
yeah, it is. It really is.
So the next one is some notoriously hard tasks. Examples: Shooterborn in Heaven, Test Drive 1 through 6 will get difficulty tiering. So you're gonna have Shooterborn Part 1, which may be one kill on each map, right? One headshot with a bolty on each map. And then Shooterborn 2, which may be two kills on each map, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5, or however they want to scale it. They might take it up to 20. I don't know. But the difficulty tiering makes me think that yes, you can get the introductory task done so you can progress the storyline, but if you really want to be a completionist, if you really want to get this task completed and get the best rewards possible from it, you got to take it to tier 5, right? Or tier 10
Well,
or whatever.
I also see that as them saying, like, everybody who's been upset with certain tasks, that's their way of saying, listen, you've been playing the harder version of some of these tasks. So it's like, I would imagine we've probably been playing like the close to the hardest part of most of these tasks. So from here
I'd
on out,
imagine, yeah.
it's probably going to be way easier. Yeah. Like, not,
Yeah,
a cakewalk or anything, but definitely not as
more manageable.
aggravating as it
Right.
has been for some people.
Yeah, and I mean, I understand it because like I am extremely confident when I shoot people in Tarkov. I use LPVOs not nearly as much as I used to, but they are straightforward. I understand them. Using bolt actions, I just lose all ability to shoot somebody. I don't know what's going on. I can't like I have 2 kills on customs and maybe 1 on another map. And that's
Man,
it. That is
sniping's
it.
it's a whole nother thing, man. It's its
And
own
it's
little
like
art.
I'll pull up to shoot somebody, and instead of when I've got, like, an AK or an M4 or HK, whatever I'm running that can go full auto, even if I'm in single fire, I pull up, I'm on their head, I tap it, they fall down. I pull out a bolt action, and all of a sudden, I am shooting left, right, up, down, where's he at? I don't know, I'm dead, you know? Like, it's horrible, I don't understand it, it makes no sense to me whatsoever, it drives me insane. So, like, I
Well, you know how it
understand that
is.
players struggle with
Some
certain
people are
tasks.
opposite, you know. Some people are great with snipers, but they don't ever pick up an AR, you know.
It sometimes I'm okay with it, sometimes I can pull up a bolty and just go off with it, and then there's other times, like right now, where I'm just unable to process how to use one. Test drive never really bothered me too much. It's a frustrating task for sure, but I've seemed to find plenty of Valdes, plenty of suppressors. Granted, I haven't gotten into it this wipe where the suppressors are costing right around like half a million rubles, I think. So might be a little more difficult, but I got like 8 or 9 of them saved up at this point. So I don't know. We'll see.
But
We'll see.
if you think about it, sniping is one of those things you really get the least amount of practice. Like, even if you play arena, you're not sniping very often. So it's
No, I
like,
never
you
snipe.
know, yeah, it's like, it's just, unless you force yourself to go sniping, you really don't get practice in it.
Yeah, and it is different even with a reasonable ergo, like, if you got a DVL, right, like, you can still pull up and hit people pretty consistently with that, but, like, not every sniper is going to perform that way. You got, like, the SV98 that has that crazy sway to the left when you pull it out, you know what I mean? Like, there I don't know. I know I'm also just whiffing my shots too, like, I should be killing people. I had a guy today on Woods. I didn't watch him, I listened to him jump on the very top of the rocks behind Sawmill, and I'm just sitting there waiting ADS, laying down, no reason to miss this shot, and he peeks. I have a wide open shot, I don't take it. And then he starts to turn towards me, and I'm like, "Oh, I gotta shoot him." Because he was kinda moving around still. It wasn't clean, but it was wide open. And then I took the shot and I was just wide left. I'm like, all right, well, I'm dead here. And he just starts shooting at me while I'm like trying to cycle my bolt and fucking go again. It was bad. Um, Shot at a guy once again, like wide open, sitting there on customs. I was at the very top of the scaffolding, and I shoot just like he's there. I ADS, I scroll wheel in, and, as soon as I go to pull the trigger, I just literally just, like, crank my mouse to the left. Like, I have no idea why, but I just jerked it to the left. I think I was streaming, I was pissed. I was like, "What am I doing? Like, what the fuck am I doing?" I literally pulled off of the shot on my own. Like, that was stupid.
For some reason, man, it's like I seem to have better luck with iron sights on sniping for some reason. It seems like iron sights are just so easy to like line up because you don't try to perfectly line it up. You just
Yeah,
try
you
to get
just
it on the
cover.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, in 90% of the time, like you do, you know, if you're hitting someone with a sniper, like it's penetrating whatever they got on. So most of the time it'll do the trick, but whenever you have a scope, you're trying to like perfectly get the shot on their head and you're
That
like,
may be what
you
it is,
know,
yeah.
yeah, like I noticed that. I've noticed that for years, like in Tarkov.
I might pull in it, like, pull an M700 or something. Just go out, see what I can do with iron sights.
Yeah.
I need to start using the Gornesty more too, because I know that kills people, and I just have been ignoring it. It's, like, the cheapest build
Yeah,
I
if
could
you
put
got
together for
AP
a sniper
rounds,
as
man.
well. I do,
Yeah.
I have quite a few. Yeah, but so, like, I can understand it, again, get back on track, the hard tasks, right, sure. It is interesting to the point that I wonder how they're gonna do it. Obviously, I assume there's gonna be, like, an achievement at the end of the hardest shooter born, hardest test drive, like, tiers. But are there more tasks gonna start getting achievements, or is that something that you think they'll even bother with doing?
The way I'm reading it or the way I'm thinking is what they're probably going to do is have different tiers um that you can complete if you want to. Like they'll be optional to where you go to a trader and now instead of giving you test drive or shooter born in heaven, it's like now they give you shooter born 1. You can do that, continue your storyline and never go back, or you can go back and be like, okay, give me 2, give me 3, give me 4.
Right.
Like just, I mean, I don't know. That seems like what they're talking about, but who knows?
You think that for, like, especially the harder ones, test drive, shooter born, fucking whatever, do you think that they will put achievements behind those for completing the highest tier?
Oh yeah, I guarantee you. I guarantee you, like almost everything's going to have a difficulty badge. Like anything that you
Yeah.
complete the hardest version of, you're going to get. some kind of
Yeah,
badge,
yeah, I think so too. So too.
maybe a sheriff's
Um,
badge.
I hope it's a sheriff's badge, like one you can actually wear.
Yeah, or DEA.
So here's something that's been talked about for a very long time. DEA would be sick.
Yeah,
Yeah, I had to touch on that. I had to.
best badges.
Here's one that's been talked about a lot, but has never been really discussed by BSG. I don't think, other than just no. We are getting female characters. They are planned as NPCs, not as playable PMCs. I don't know why. I don't know what's up with that, but whatever. I don't really care one way or the other. It's a game about shooting shit and looting shit, and that's what I'm doing.
I think not as PMCs because they would have to redo the whole hitbox and like it would just take a lot of work. And then you're going to have people who only use the female. Anytime they put a female with a smaller hitbox in a game,
Yeah,
all
you
anybody
take it.
uses is the
Yeah,
female.
yeah.
Like that's everybody uses every advantage they can. And I think they know that's what's going to happen. So it's like if they start throwing females in there, it's going to throw off the balance. Unless they made them even size and even hitbox, which if you do that, it just but
What's
then
the
they also
point?
have to
Right,
they have to refit all the clothing. Like they have to
right.
redo everything they have in the
Everything that
game.
goes on the
Yeah,
character.
so
Yeah.
it's like I get it. Like it makes sense. Like but what is weird is female NPCs.
Well, for
Like
one, we know we
we
have
have
therapists,
therapists.
and I
Yeah.
assume we're getting, the lady that's in the labs, medic poster, the blue one with the blue
Barbara?
hair. Yeah, Barbie,
I think
Barbie. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, yeah. So I'm pretty sure she's coming in, right? And then I'd imagine maybe like some of the stuff at Terminal, you might have like a female officer or like a female for terror group or something like that.
Well, that's what I wonder. Is like, are we going to get female scavs? Are we going to like be able to? But that doesn't make
No,
sense
yeah,
because
they'd have once again, they'd
yeah,
have to change hitboxes and everything else. At
yeah,
that point, they just bring in PMCs too.
yeah,
And again, like, yeah, it does make sense. I know some people are always like, "Why no females?" Blah blah blah. So, but I think people just find reasons to nitpick the game and just like find any excuse to like shit on it as often as possible.
yeah.
We were talking about it
Well,
earlier
and
too.
that's something that people will be able to add once the game comes out and they actually let us mod. Like, I
Right,
guarantee
right.
you there'll be a female mod, and that'll be in there. There'll be a naked female mod that everybody be running, like guaranteed.
Gooner shit, guarantee it.
Yeah, yeah.
So, another touch on the seasonal wipes here is Nikita aims to make every wipe unique. So, what I imagine here is similar to the prestige system. As you play through each wipe, I don't know why I said that. That's not quite. I guess it's akin to it, but different. So, with the prestige system, you get like unique rewards as you complete the prestige. With the seasonal stuff, I wonder, A, will we get specific tasks line depending on the time of year, things like that? Depending on the season or like what holiday may be nearby. That's always one thing they could do. But also, as we finish the seasonal wipe for that season, do we get, unique rewards that we keep unlocked permanently, like specific gear, clothing, this, that, or the other?
Yeah,
Like, I don't know
yeah, I would
exactly
assume.
how they would make it unique outside of changing the way bosses act, maybe the way places bosses spawn during certain times. I don't know. Um,
Well, I also think they might mean like every wipe is going to have a different flavor. Like everything is going to be themed around that wipe. Like kind of like this last wipe we had where you had the Hawaiian shirts and then they
right.
had like a few variations of that and then you had a few other items that they added that kind of went with that like theme of like Hawaii or like like tropical. Like I could see them doing stuff like that where it's like it's just going to be like a
Seasonal
few
depending on what time of
items.
year and things. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
really
And whenever the wipe happens, it's like this wipe might be like I don't know, like a lever action. We might get some lever action. So it might be like maybe some cowboy
cowboy
gear and
shit.
like
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I could just
yeah,
see them doing a few things like that where
like
each
a
wipe
cowboy
is
outfit
not
or something. That'd be cool.
yeah, yeah. And like you might be able to obviously prestige rewards might like have that
Vary
flavor.
depending on. Yeah, that's true
Yeah,
too.
if you prestige that wipe, you get like that signature item of that wipe or that
Right.
theme from that wipe.
Yeah.
So, but I assume it's just also like we've went so long with every wipe just being the same with just new content like every time, to where it's like this is one way for them to make it where it's not the same old same. It's not just hey wipe time, like well, it's
Right,
like it
rinse and
doesn't
repeat,
feel the
reset,
same.
yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't feel the same now that you're at
Right, you have
1.0.
something to
It's like, oh
anticipate it
wait,
for, yeah.
yeah. So it's like now your wipes are going to have something to look forward to because everybody's going to be kind of tired of the whole wipe thing for with nothing with it. You know what I mean? You're going to have to put
Right,
something with it to make people
right,
excited,
but
and I think
knowing
that's kind of
each wipe
what
comes
they're
with a
doing.
unique theme, unique rewards, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Um, Definitely cool, it's exciting to know that we have all this stuff still planned heading into the future of Tarkov, it's not just get to 1.0, dump the game, and start a new project, right?
right.
So, that's cool. And then we have Bear faction may receive future in-game advantages on Ruaf faction, or with Ruaf faction. So potentially similar to how the USEC and the rogues kind of interact with each other and are, chill. It sounds like on terminal or anywhere that Ruaf may pop up, maybe. It sounds like as of right now, it's not a thing, but potentially Bear Ruaf collab. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's always been rumored. So I think just the way it got written right here was just weird because those two lines are supposed to go together. It's supposed to be
In certain
receive.
terminals slash areas to balance
Yeah,
USEC
yeah.
advantage on Lighthouse Rogue. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
So and we've always known that. So I think that sounds uncertain, but I think we can be pretty certain that that's what's going to happen.
And it makes sense for them to do that too, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
It balances out why play Bear versus why play USEC. Um, yeah, not really a lot to touch on that one other than, yeah, it's a good balance.
no,
It needs to happen.
yeah,
Yeah. Here's a really
a
cool
big
one,
one.
a
Yeah,
really big one. Yeah. Zombie event, excuse me, zombie event will return bigger and more special. BSG wants to eventually link all maps seamlessly, but execution is still being figured out. I don't know. There's some of these that he puts together that I'm like, why are they put together? It throws me
yeah,
off.
yeah, yeah. But that's two really big things. We had already talked about how cool it would be if they brought back some of the old events and how we thought it was a waste for them to just run something one time and then us never get it again.
Right.
Considering they did all the work for it, did all the development for it, and then it just got left behind. And I am glad to see this because that means we'll probably see more than just the zombie event. We'll probably see a lot of the cool events that we had, like the cultist event and some of the Halloween events and things like
Right.
that.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
yeah, yeah, I'm happy to see that. And then
Absolutely.
the maps thing, like I've already accepted that we're never going to have a complete open world. Like linking all maps, the only way I think this would ever happen is if it's like the final thing they do. Like
Right. On
at year 5 after 1.0, like their final update is like a huge overhaul of the entire engine, and PC hardware has gotten considerably powerful enough to where it's
right.
possible maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's such a hard thing to do right now. But
Yeah.
hearing them still say they want to do it and they're still trying, that
Makes you hopeful.
gives me more hope now. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I had given up hope on it, like I really had.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
now
As
it's
cool
kind of
as it
like,
may be, it's
yeah, because it would be awesome. It would be great. And there are new ways, but that's all with newer engines. It's all with newer things that Tarkov doesn't have. And it just, unless they actually go all the way and upgrade Tarkov to, the latest Unity and we get DX12 and like, there's just so many things that will have to happen, I think, before
right.
that would be possible. But the fact that they're still set on doing it,
Right, they still are considering
they
it, yeah.
yeah, that tells me something because if they still think it's possible, then it's possible because they know a lot more about what's possible than I do. So,
Yeah, right, exactly. And the fact that they also say but execution is still being figured out,
yeah.
that doesn't sound like they don't know what to do, it's a matter of getting it to work correctly, right?
Right. Right.
So, yeah, that is huge, though, that is huge. And on the event side of it, a more fleshed out zombies event or potentially more fleshed out zombies mode, right? Which is maybe a thing that I could see them doing. It's something they had
Yeah.
talked about. People enjoyed it so much. Maybe even make it like labyrinth situation, but some other form of getting into it. I don't know exactly what or how, but that sounds like a lot of fun. And it kind of makes me think that, yeah, exactly. Like you said, we will be getting these other events that we've tried out. And it kind of makes sense now, too, to be like, okay, we tested the event and then, in the future, it's gonna come out. way more advanced, buffed up,
Right.
so that's cool. It makes me
Well, and it
really
makes
excited
much
for
more
what's
sense,
it
like,
does,
for
yeah.
them to actually use that stuff again instead of, like, have it one
Trying
time
to
and
make
then
new
never use it
ones,
again.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
yeah.
It makes much more sense to refine it and then actually give us a updated version of
Because,
some of it.
yeah, all of us that got to do those events will recognize them. We'll get a kick out of it, we'll get that, that, nostalgia hit, and then the new players will get to experience it, but it's, cleaned up and refined, like you said, and ready to go, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I
Well,
mean
because
I
I
mean,
had always wondered why they didn't bring certain things back. I'm like, "Man, there's been so many cool
so
things,"
many good
but
things. Just the cultist
now
priests, right? Like, that would have
yeah,
been
yeah.
great to
That
just
alone,
have
it's
in the
like,
game.
yeah, throw an event for a weekend, every now and then where they're there, but it's like they never did, and I think it could be because they were still,
Just
like
testing it and then putting it out
yeah, they
later,
were
yeah.
yeah,
I do wonder though, specifically with things like the cultist priests, I wonder if they are actually going to be in game and just a different spawn cycle from the regular cultists, or how they may spawn in, or how they may play part in story. Because if there's this whole Lightkeeper ending that they talk about, is it also, you would assume it's involving the priests. It would make
right.
sense, especially if it's like the end game mission. So I don't know. We'll see, but it's
Well,
yeah,
yeah, I could see them being like a permanent fixture in Tarkov somehow, like where
some
they're
way, shape, or
basically just
form,
another
yeah.
boss. Yeah, yeah,
Because
like I could
in
see that.
lore and stuff, they are pretty heavily used.
Well, and like they do mention, in this, they we haven't got to it yet, but they are still planning on newer maps, and if that's the case, they got to have bosses for those maps, and that could be what those are. Is it like maybe they're already bosses, or just haven't seen the maps that they're the bosses of yet.
True. That is also true. Well, that's yeah, new maps will continue post 1.0. Cosmetic key slash skin features like arena style are slated for a future patch. So that essentially just says, well, okay, one at a time. Once again,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
new maps will continue post 1.0. So we know we have like suburbs, and there was what, town or something like that, and then there's, I can't remember all of them.
Um,
There's a
Town
few.
was canceled. Nikita had said Town was just like merged into Streets, I believe, or maybe Suburbs
Okay.
was.
Yeah, maybe it
One of
was,
them was
yeah.
merged into Streets.
I think it was town.
Um,
I think town was dropped. Maybe suburbs. I can't
yeah,
remember.
but I know he had said a few of them. So I don't know if they're talking about brand new maps that we just didn't hear about, or if they're talking like remakes
Yeah,
or
like the yeah.
expansions. Because it could just be expansions on what we have. It could be something new that we just haven't even heard of. It could be new places that we have to go to in the story, even like there's a lot of different things it could be. But the fact that they're confirming that yeah we're still getting all this, like I'm happy to see that because I didn't know that for sure.
Right. Yeah, and like the wiki always says these maps are potentially coming, or whatever they were talked about, this, that, and the other. And the physical map that we see in game on Tarkov when we're selecting locations, uh, you can tell there's definitely some pretty wide open areas there that look like they should have some sort of location to them. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know how or what, but we're getting new maps in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
And then we have the cosmetic side, like, getting the battle pass skins and all those cosmetics and things like that in base game, in a future patch. We don't know when. I'm sure it's probably not a major priority for them, but
but yeah, I mean we have to have the gun skins and just
yeah, the
the
camos and paints and stuff, yeah. The
and the
paint
amount of
the
skins that you can get in arena versus regular Tarkov is crazy. Like
right.
they need to just bring all that over, merge all that together because you can make your character look so much cooler in arena than you can in the
Yeah,
regular
you
Tarkov.
absolutely can. Well, and then you get, like, the custom gear too, like the camoed gear, the painted
Yeah,
gear.
yeah,
You get
yeah.
different variants of different things. It's really
Which we've
cool.
always been told that was coming to the base game. It was,
It's just a matter of
I,
when.
yeah. I just don't think we ever had an exact date.
Right. That one's also really cool, again, but we don't know when. We knew and have known that it's coming, but just a hurry up and wait type situation. Some of this stuff, it's kind of easy to just ignore too, because with 1.0 coming, it's like, well, there's my next 2 years of fun, right? Like, just
Right.
bare minimum playing 1.0 for two wipes straight, right? Um, but knowing also that I have a permanent character that I can progress at my own pace, at my leisure, and just do the tasks that I wanna do and just have fun with it, and then a hardcore wipe or not a hardcore, but a seasonal character that I can, like, grind on and try to prestige and not have to worry about stats. Like, I like the separation of the 2, and I like being able to pick and choose how I'm feeling that day to play. It's not just, "Oh, I can go play PvE or I can go play PvP," now it's like, "Oh, I'm getting on PvP, obviously," but now I'm just like, I'm a little more casual on this one, like, I'm just playing on my main
Yeah,
account, whatever, like,
you can have
it's cool.
those days where you're just less competitive. You can just chill out and kind of do things differently. It just makes that available for just all the time, and that's something we've never had.
Yeah, it's huge. With 1.0, there is a skill slash well, with 1.0 coming, I don't know if that's meant to be in there or what, but a skill slash leveling system rework is planned, which, again, something they'd mentioned
Already
before.
figured. Yep.
Yeah, we assume that they're gonna slow things down, maybe not, like, a lot, but pretty decently, I would say, just so people can't grind it so fast because I even with the new seasonal stuff, like, "Oh, we, plan to wipe every so often," like we said, it'll probably be longer cycles, um,
Yeah.
6 to 9-month range, if not up to a year. So it's like it's one of those things that'll give everybody time to finish the season, not just the hardcore runners that are, like, grinding it out, day 12, they're already halfway there, maybe even sooner, I don't know. Uh,
Well, and just an overhaul of the perks and like just a rework of what each one does, I think is needed. And some of them that we've had that haven't even been used yet. Like there's been some of them that we still don't use to this day.
yeah,
So
true,
getting all
absolutely
those
true,
up to date and up to par, like that's going to be a well
pretty
needed
big,
feature that
right.
we've needed for a while.
Well, and it sounds like we're getting not only the ask reworks and things changes like that, but they're changing the leveling system, to a degree. I don't know if that's just XP numbers are gonna get dialed out differently or, how they plan to do it, but changes towards the systems, which is enough to break up the same old that we've already done over and over and over again, So it'll be kinda cool to see what they come up with for that too. But,
Yeah.
BSG considering a softer interim wipe before 1.0 to gauge community feedback. Some hardcore wipe elements may carry into 1.0. The BSG considering a softcore wipe is a no. That's flat out no. They're just
Yeah.
gonna revert a bunch of changes, make everything probably cheap and max out traders and just like give us essentially just a really chill time for the next month and maybe less while we wait for 1.0, right?
Yeah, because at that time when this interview was done, that's when the news came out. Oh no, Tarkov's wiping again, and everybody started making videos and freaking out, saying Tarkov's wiping, Tarkov's wiping. Well, Nikita also said, he was thinking about it. He never confirmed it, and now later he confirmed it that it's not happening. He's just going to do the update basically to some of the features without
Yeah.
the wipe.
Yeah.
So
And as for the hardcore some of the hardcore wipe elements, carrying into 1.0, with that, I would say it's more so the dropping in on, like, ground zero, not having maps unlocked, not having traders unlocked,
yeah,
not knowing what to do, not having, tasks or anything,
flea
like,
market, flea
really
market
the flea
being
market
less. Yeah,
far
I
less
imagine they're
available.
gonna. I don't know
But
exactly what they're going to do, but somehow, some way, they're going to make it where the flea market is not as used as it is now.
yeah, yeah, that would make
Because
sense.
we know Nikita wants to get rid of it, but I think they've figured out that people were okay with
A
that.
chunk of the player base or yeah.
But at the same time, it's like if you do like level 35 or something like that, I
Or even
think
just
that's a
somewhere in the middle, like 25 to 30, I think is reasonable,
yeah, that's a
especially
good
with
middle
Arena out
ground.
now. But
Yeah,
depending on how they change the leveling system, 15 might
yeah.
even be a good time now, like, we
Well,
don't know.
and just depending on everything overall as far as like rewards and skill leveling,
Traders
and
and everything
it
overall,
might
yeah.
not be as important to have the flea market, you know what I mean? Like
It's
we
true.
just we just don't know.
Yeah, we will have to wait
But
on and see on a lot of it, but
I think we always knew that the hardcore wipe was for testing for
testing
1.0
yeah,
features,
yeah,
because a lot of the stuff they were testing were things that they had been scared to do before because they knew people would throw a fit and go crazy. So it's like throw it all together in what you call a hardcore wipe right before
right,
1.0.
right.
It lets you get those features in the game and get a database of
What's
people
okay, what's
playing
not
it,
okay, how people
and
feel about it,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, you get the numbers, you get the opinions, and it basically just lets you carry that feature into 1.0. It it's easier for people to swallow it. People who don't want that stuff, now that they've already had it, it's a lot easier than just introducing it all of a sudden in
Right,
1.0 without
right.
ever seeing it, you know?
Like, think about this for the start of Tarkov. You get your cutscene of whatever type, you load in, to ground zero right after an event just took place, and you probably don't have much, probably a baseline kit, I would imagine, considering, you're either part of the faction USEC or Bear.
Yeah.
And you are essentially, from what I gather, I could be wrong here, maybe they've changed it. I don't know how they plan to start. What it always was planned, I think, was you have to go essentially go find that first in-raid trader and start to make good with them. And they will tell you like about a transit or this or that. And you
Yeah, it
had
should have
to an
been
extract to go to the
therapists
next map.
at
Yeah.
Ground Zero,
Yeah.
right?
Therapist at Ground Zero over at Immercom is where I think is where she's at, but I may be wrong. But yeah, therapist on Ground Zero, and you find her, you do a task or two for her, and then she'll send you towards woods or customs or wherever, and then you slowly start to progressively unlock traders, unlock maps, build up your stash, do all these things, and then the game really starts progressing and opening up toward the point where you can go in and out a little more easily.
Yeah.
But I don't think you're gonna have map selection off the rip. I'm not sure.
No. No, I
Um,
think it's going to be exactly that. I think we're going to get dropped in Ground Zero and we're going to have to go map by. I think that's why that was put in
right.
for the hardcore wipe is to number one, test the system out, test the servers out, how do they perform with everybody playing on the same maps. But I think it was just a test because that's how we're going to start the game. Like it's the way it's going to go. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure on that one.
Yeah, that has typically been the plan, and it's not really deviated from that, as far as I know at all. Um,
No,
it's one of those things again, though. We'll wait and see. We're so fucking close. Waiting and seeing is not a bad thing right now.
no,
Uh,
no.
moving on though, we have end game slash escape arc. There are 4 ending plans, and currently we know bare minimum 2, and I say 2 because the Lightkeeper leak stuff, I'm
Yeah,
confident that is 1.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then
definitely.
I think 2 is how Terminal has been currently ending. I haven't talked to or heard anything from anyone at the Tokyo Game Show about Terminal, as in what if they got to see anything more, or if there was, a different story thing going on, or like a different route, or what. I have no idea. I am actively trying to find out. Um, with me trying to be a Sherpa, there's a few people that I know are in the Sherpa Discord that were over there, or at least one guy for sure that was over there. And I assume or not assume, I'm pretty sure he said he played Terminal. So I'm going to talk to him. If he's not under NDA, I'm going to see if he wants to come on. If he doesn't want to come on, I'm going to see if he wants to maybe give me a transcript of everything that took place. But I am actively trying to find that information. If any of you have it, hit me up and we can either talk on the podcast or we can just talk in private and I'll take the transcript and run with that. But I would like to know if there were any major changes or anything different. But, anyways, back on track. I think 2 is dying at terminal just like the movie ends, right?
Yeah. And I would
And
say that is
then
probably the most like
that's the
uh
common. That's like the
yeah, that's
normal
like the
ending. Yeah.
original, yeah, plan for most players, probably the path you're going to take.
Yeah.
And then all the other ones are probably, as it says later on in this right here, it says the hardest true ending is intended for roughly 2% of players. And that tells you something there. Like that
Yeah.
means
That's
it's going to
insane.
be very difficult.
And I think it's safe to say the hardest true ending is probably actually leaving through the airship, right? Or through the,
I mean,
hovercraft. Maybe not. Maybe it's like this whole
it
I
could be.
stayed in
It
Tarkov
could
and
be.
took over this bitch, you know?
The fact that they say it's only intended for 2% roughly, it tells me that it's going to be on par with max prestige because people who are max prestige is like 2%. Last time I seen it was like 2% of the community have max prestige.
Yeah, there's only
So,
like 7 people or something like that, 5
yeah,
people. Hezzy's one
yeah.
of them, the guy we did an interview with, he's one of them, I think. It's
Yeah, so
it's a
I
small
imagine
or no,
it's
max prestige, not I was thinking achievements, sorry, I was thinking achievements. He did hit P4, that's max though, right? Right
I think it
now?
is for now. Or
Yeah,
is there 5?
I think
I
it's
think it's
4.
5 now, right? Oh, is it
No, I
4?
think it's 4 because I'm pretty sure I saw the dog tag for 5 and somebody's like, "Oh, nice, a fan made this. It's not out yet," or something, you know?
Oh, okay,
But I
okay.
don't think 5's out yet. I think it's just 4. Maybe not,
Well,
I don't know.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah, it is a
anyways,
very small amount of people. It's a
yeah, I
minuscule
know
amount of
when
people that have it.
I seen the player statistics on it, it was I believe sitting right at 2% of players. So,
Which I think had you and I decided when Prestigious started that we wanted to do that and wanted to get Prestigious, I think we could be maybe not max, but I think we could be at least into Prestige 2 or so.
oh yeah,
So I feel
it's
like
reachable.
it's one of those
Yeah,
things,
it's
if you set your mind to it and you orient your tasking towards it, we could absolutely pull it
yeah.
off. I think anybody could pull it off.
Yeah, if you play just raid after raid after raid after raid, like you have infinite lives in Tarkov. So
Yeah.
yeah, you can do anything. You just have to put your mind to it and just push.
Yep.
But yeah, because every now and then, no matter how bad a kits you run, you're gonna have great raids. Like you can just keep going with awful kits, and eventually you're gonna get everything done.
Yeah. Yeah. There is a method that or there is a method to the madness of just constantly go in. I don't care if I die. I don't care what happens. I just go in. I'm doing this task.
Yeah,
I will eventually get
yeah,
out with this task item one way or another. Whether I'm going in with my melee and a pon on my head, or I'm geared from this guy I just killed last raid. But I'm going in. I'm going balls to the wall, straight to my point, and I'm fighting whatever's in my way. And it works. It works.
yeah. It does. It does, and it does. I mean, you can see it in the stats when you look at people that do have like max prestige or people who like always get everything done like first. Like there's always one or two people that's always like first to kappa, and if you look at
Yeah.
their stats, most of the time they're running about 10 times the amount of raids as a normal person. So
Yeah.
it's just taking the time to actually just do that, just put your head down and just go. You don't do anything else. You just every time you're out of raid, you're not sitting there messing in your stash trying to like plan for this and that and oh I want to build these kits. No, you're just taking what you got and you're going in and you're just getting
Run it.
whatever you can done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while that does intrigue me at times, I genuinely enjoy Tarkov for the way that I play Tarkov. I like
Yeah, same.
I like going a little bit slower. I like being more methodical. I do like the idea of running suppressed and, getting the advantage on people. I'm a huge advantage player. I love having advantage. I sound whore. I do what I can to win my fights. I do also very much enjoy sometimes just running my ass off and trying to fight anything and everything in the way. Like, I did it just yesterday or earlier this morning. I was trying to get a shooter-born kill. I chased some dudes into dorms. It was a two-man, and I was like, "I don't give a fuck. I'm fighting this." And I just pushed them. You know what I mean? I was with a bolt action. I'm just, like, trying to kill these dudes,
Right.
and it's just, like, sometimes there's a time and a place for that kinda stuff, and, like, it can be fun. And I understand that
Well,
for a lot of people, it's just a matter of, like, I just wanna get shit done. But for me, I
yeah.
kinda like the idea of, like, my stats matter to a degree, and I know they don't, but it's just, like, it's what you look for when you're playing Tarkov. It's what you want from Tarkov,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what it all
you can
boils down
play how
to.
you want. Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like you can actually play Tarkov and use gear you want to use, only run kits that you want to run, have fun, like experiment with different things. Or you can play Tarkov as some people do and you just use whatever you got.
Yeah.
And I've seen, both play styles and I prefer the opposite. I prefer, like you said, going in and playing a certain way, using a certain weapon, trying to keep a hold of what I have, like being proud of the weapon I built and wanting to keep it
Right,
like it's
right.
my gun, not yours. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, exactly.
that's definitely fun. Like, but if you just want to go in and get things done, like it's definitely more tedious, but it's definitely possible. Like you just go. Like I've never been that type of player, and I just can't bring myself to do it. But if I needed to, or if I had to, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I get it. One luxury we have is not all players know how to make money. So some players are
Right.
forced to play like that.
They
Some
are,
players are
yeah.
forced because they have nothing. They have to play with whatever. And it's like I feel like we've been lucky
At
enough
any
to
point in
where
time, yeah, we're pretty kitted.
yeah, we can
We've
have
got good
whatever we
shit.
want.
We've got
And
money. Yeah.
yeah, and it's like never do we have to resort to using the last thing in our stash. It's like our
No,
stashes are
never.
always full.
Usually it ends up just wiping 90% of what was in my stash, and I just use money to get what I want to wear or use anyways. outside of
Right.
like scopes, suppressors, foregrips, pistol grips, things that I save that I'm like, oh, I'll use this on this one random build this one time. Like it's never gonna get built.
Right.
It's just not gonna happen. Like currently,
Well,
I have I don't know. I think I got my stash value down to like 66 mil. I was something there at like 80 mil at one point. And it was just getting cluttered. It was filling up, dude. I sold and deleted so much stupid shit that I was just holding on to, and it just didn't make sense to
yeah.
hold on to it. It's just what's the point in having all of this stuff that I'm never going to use? It frustrates me because I have no rigs. I have no armor or armored rigs. Like anything that I want to use kit wise, I'm still having to spend money on anyway. So what's the point in hoarding all this shit if I'm not being able to use the things that are hoarding all the shit or that are holding all
Well,
the
it's like
things I'm storing?
at different points in time in Tarkov, like you always have different goals. So it's like sometimes you think you'll need something, so you keep it, and then later on you look at it like, man, why did I keep that? But at the
Right.
time,
Yeah,
you
that happens
convinced
too.
yourself you did.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's
absolutely.
like, yeah. So it's one of those things that it's definitely something I'm looking forward to with the multiple characters because
For sure.
it
Yeah.
gives you the chance to play differently. Like
You can be
play the
careless
seasonal
and
character,
yeah.
yeah. Play it like like we've been talking about, where you just use what you got. You just go in. You're not sitting there building everything, planning everything out. You're just going in, getting what you can done, and getting out. And then play your normal character the way you always do. It I'm hoping that's how it plays out, where we
It
can do
sounds
that.
like that's exactly how it's gonna play out too, and that is exciting. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Being able to
yeah,
split the time played on different play styles because I'm playing hard or I keep calling it hardcore. I'm playing seasonal on this character and I'm playing regular over here. So, my regular account is going to be my low and slow account. It's gonna be the swanky ass. I got all the clothing paid for, I'm rocking the best shit that I can possibly run. I'm taking advantage of all the gear. Where the seasonal, I could totally see it having almost an empty stash and me just like grinding to get things done so I
yeah.
can get the unique rewards. And I'm okay with that.
Well,
Um,
that's always been what holds you back. You get so far into a wipe and you've devoted so much time and effort into that character and the
yeah,
stats and your stash. It's so hard to just switch it up and just completely
just start
play
throwing it
different or
away. Yeah,
yeah, or to not care. And it's like this I think will give us the option to just, for once we can just not worry about that and we can just play a
yeah,
different play style.
yeah.
Um because I know it's not worth it, like holding on to everything and being so particular about things because every wipe, my stash is getting wiped with billions, well not billions, but millions and millions of rubles worth of stuff
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
sitting there. You know what I mean? Like so it's like
Exactly.
I I know all that, but it's like by the time I'm there during the wipe, I just can't force myself to switch playstyle. Even though I want to, I know I'd have to wipe my character, I'd have to, or get a whole new account. This, I believe, will just, for once, let us actually be able to just have different playstyles and not affect our current character. And I
Yeah,
think that'll be cool. It'll let people
that's
try out new things.
yeah, yeah. It's definitely a good move on their part, 100%.
Yeah, it makes the game
Let's
better.
see.
Makes the
And
game
then
way
we
better.
We have no beginner hand-holding buffs. Instead, systems will encourage learning and growth. Uh, I'm guessing tutorials and user-friendly
Yeah,
systems.
yeah.
Yeah, and probably like references to I don't know, maybe not. I was gonna say references to like the wiki or something. Well, they could like they do for the Sherpa hub. Like oh, find a Sherpa to help you learn and raid. They could also say like visit some of our resources, and then like in the smaller text be like Tarkov wiki and whatever else they want to reference.
Well, and they've also started putting out YouTube tutorials like under the
True.
actual Escape from Tarkov channel. Like you have like how to scab, you have like what to do for tasking. Like they've been doing that as of late. So I imagine that's going to be a big part of that.
Yeah, which makes perfect sense too. I
Yeah.
think that's probably exactly what they'll do. Let's see, and then we have progression at 1.0 may start from ground zero, unlocking maps over time, just like the start of the hardcore wipe, which we already know should be how it starts. I mean, well, I have no doubt in my mind that you start on ground zero with practically nothing, and you have to figure it out from there. Will their maps be locked? Will the other maps be locked? Will you be limited on selection and things like that? And we have everything past that is what I'm unsure on.
Yeah.
But I think that's how it will roll. Is how we were talking earlier.
Yeah. Considering it's going to be story mode, I think the first hour or so of your game is going to be really slowed down. It's going to be really cutscene heavy, and I think a lot of it is just going to be explaining why you're there and what's happened, and
Yeah,
slowly going to ease you into the normal Tarkov.
yeah, yeah. Which is how it should be, because then the new
Yeah,
players
makes
get
sense.
that learning experience kind of thing, which is helpful.
Yeah.
And then we have boss spawn rates for 1.0 under consideration, something around 50% potentially. In my opinion, I think that's the wrong move. I think that they drop it down even lower so that it stays that even playing field a little bit longer. But depending on how story progression goes and how, the introduction of these bosses and things happen, that may work out just fine. Again, not knowing everything they have planned as for how we're going to be able to get to these maps and how consistently can we get there. So, like, sure, it may be 50% boss spawn, but if you can't hardly ever get to shoreline, what's it matter? You know?
Well,
Um,
I'd seen somebody had said, I can't remember who this was, but this was recent, like a week or so ago. I had seen a thing where someone had talked to Nikita and he had told them that he felt like bosses weren't uh they weren't in play enough, like just as normal raids, like for normal Tarkov, and he wanted the bosses to feel more present instead of
fair.
like a, all day everyday thing. He just wanted bosses to be more normal. So I'm thinking 50% baseline, it seems high, but if that's the way they build the game out for 1.0 to where that's like legit and normal, then I could be okay with it. Because I like bosses, but at the same time, I don't like everybody just getting gear off the bosses, farming them. So if they make it to where that's not possible, you're not going to be able to farm the bosses. Like that could work out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I
it just
think,
just depends on how they do it.
yeah, it really does. It boils down to what ends up taking place here.
Well, from what I got from that was he was basically saying that bosses are going to be way harder, and basically you're not going to be able to just go farm them like you used to, and it's going to be more of a thing where you avoid them because they are so hard. Like that was the plan, is like bosses are a deterrent, not an attraction.
Yeah, true. And I'd say with the new balancing changes, yeah, that's probably how it'll end up.
Yeah.
Let's see, and then we have Nikita's favorite maps. If anybody was wondering, it's customs and then streets, which I can kind of see. They put a lot of love into
Yeah,
customs. You know,
makes
I mean, they put
sense.
love into all the maps, but customs has been the one that's been around
Customs
for a
is the
very long
OG map.
time.
It
Yeah,
it it was the map you started on after story was actually, or traders were actually brought into the game. Customs became the first spot you went to. It was always factory before that, and factory and big map, aka woods. But once they actually put stuff in, it was like customs became like the place you
a
spent
place to go.
the
Yeah,
first few hours of your playthrough. Yeah.
yeah. And lastly, Nikita says that he is open to Lighthouse feedback and he's keen to return to TGS next year. Awesome. If I would love to go to Tokyo Game Show. I might do everything in my power to try to make it happen. It's one of those things that, like, it seems really, really cool. Not just the BSG booth, which obviously, like, fangirl over, and I'd spend like 90% of my time there. But there's just a lot going on there. Elgato does some really cool stuff out there. I think Lenovo had a really cool booth. There's so many brands out there. I could go on and on. There's a lot happening.
Elgato,
But
is that your cousin from Mexico?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, he was out
Elgato's
there. Cool.
Elgato Stream Deck, yeah. Um,
Nice.
but yeah, him being open to the Lighthouse feedback is
Yeah,
worrisome
that's
in
pretty big.
a
Well,
couple
it's
ways, I
pretty
guess.
big for this. Only reason I'm thinking it's big is because that's saying that he's open to feedback because a complete rework is underway. Like
Right.
maybe it's like they're in the process, because we already heard that we were going to get a revamped. What did we hear? We had like three maps they were talking about
So
redoing.
Interchange is getting an expansion,
Yeah,
Reserve
yeah,
is getting a
interchange.
rework, and
Yes.
Lighthouse is getting a rework.
So maybe that
Interchange specifically
means,
said expansion though, so that's just adding
yeah.
to the current light or Interchange map. Reserve and Lighthouse both getting a rework tells me that, but that's the thing too. Reserve's not that bad of a map. I could see them stretching it out, maybe adding some new POIs, trying to make it a little bit larger up top.
Yeah. Well, because
But
yeah, it's
that
underground
wouldn't.
heavy. Like there's not much space really on reserve up top.
No,
Um,
not really at all. But I could see
so
them
yeah,
opening
they
that up for sure. Like that would make
yeah
sense.
yeah
But a
yeah
full rework to do that seems odd unless they're doing a whole rework to the underground system. They could expand that a lot and really like have
yeah
some
yeah. That's true.
gnarly shit going on down there. That's like again, I have no idea. We haven't seen anything
It
on
could
it.
be like the customs rework and the factory rework where they keep the base map and they just
Add a bunch
expand
of
certain
new and
areas
yeah,
and
yeah.
then yeah, just kind of refine everything and just retexture everything.
But for Lighthouse, I feel like it would be a full rework. I feel like it would get like,
Yeah. Well, and
maybe
that's what I
again, the
think.
maps would stay except for wherever they expand at, preferably on both sides, and then every POI would change, at least the layout, like stack the chalets a little differently, maybe add some more stuff in the middle area, get that village expanded all the way across to the seaside, just break up terrain, break up line of sight, break up the road camp a bit, try to do something because it needs it. And I love
Well,
Lighthouse, but
and
it
that's the
needs
thing
work.
is people have been talking about that forever. And even Nikita has said before he didn't really know what to do to Lighthouse
Right,
because he's
like,
like, "What do
how
you
do
want me
we
to
do
do?
it? Yeah.
Drain the coast?" Like he's said that
Right,
before. So him saying this right here is kind of confirmation that they are trying to do something, and he's wanting ideas because they
right.
still haven't really figured out what to do with it.
Stuck on one spot or another,
So
yeah.
yeah, it sucks. It's not something we're getting soon. It sucks. It's not like something coming with 1.0.
Yeah, that's
But
the worrisome
the
side of it, is that we
yeah,
don't
yeah,
know
it
when it's
is. It
coming,
is.
and we don't know it most likely won't be with 1.0, unfortunately,
No,
but
definitely not. Yeah, definitely
yeah.
not. But the fact he's saying, I'm open to it because he didn't say I'm open to, any other maps. He specified Lighthouse, so that tells me
Right.
that
They are
that's
actively
something
trying
that's
to put
on
something
his
into it.
mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, is like we got to do something about it. So just the fact that they definitely are, because if he's open to feedback, that means he's probably open to big changes.
Right.
And if he's open to big changes, that could be very good. So
Yeah, I think
that's
so.
kind of like the good and the bad of that comment.
Yeah, but overall, I mean, I think it's a good thing, obviously, we're still getting the Lighthouse rework. Um Haven't heard again anything about reserve other than we saw on the roadmap. It is getting a rework, and we haven't seen anything for Lighthouse or Jesus. We haven't seen anything for interchange outside of the Ragman storefront setup, which we don't even know necessarily where that's at on interchange. Is it in the current mall? Is it part of the expansion? Who knows? We just saw, and he may not even be on interchange, which would be weird, but whatever. Um, it looked very
Yeah,
interchange like
yeah,
in the
yeah, dude.
pictures. So, but yeah, that's
But yeah,
that's
it's like
everything that he went over. What is it?
I was just gonna say those two maps. It's like there's probably stuff they've had planned for a long time with them, and where Lighthouse is a newer map. I feel like that's the reason there's so much trouble with Lighthouse. I feel like Reserve is something that they could alter pretty easily. Like they've probably
Right.
had good ideas for it for a while, and same with Interchange. There's probably plans they've had for a while, so it's probably why that we're not hearing much about it, or they probably been working on it and it's probably pretty much done, and they probably
I'd
just were
imagine.
waiting.
Yeah, waiting
So yeah,
because that's a cool
yeah,
thing to
that
release with 1.0.
yeah, I was gonna say that those might be a couple of the big changes that we get with 1.0 or something like that. Something that's pretty easy for them to do. They've had the ability to have it planned out for a long time.
Right.
Um, so yeah, that's all.
Okay. But yeah, that's everything that they went over, or that Nikita went over with this interview. Really good stuff. A lot of information there. I mean, there's so many cool things going on. The 1.0 is going to be beyond awesome. Uh, I genuinely am at a loss for words when it comes to like describing how I feel towards 1.0 and the anticipation that I have building up, getting closer and closer to 1.0. Um, I'm about to bust, like that's as good as it's gonna get. But yeah, do you have anything
Yeah,
else you
that's a
want to
good way to put
add?
it. I do. I have one more thing, and I want to speak real quick on Battlestate announcing that Steam was going to
Oh
require you
yeah,
to purchase the game again on Steam. It's like I understand criticizing Tarkov when they deserve it. I understand some people even, going a little too far sometimes. But the fact that everybody and their brother jumped on this like it was the biggest stab in the back, or like
Right.
BSG turned on their fans, it's like it's such a reach. Like it's not even cool anymore. Like it's stupid.
It
Like
is. It really is dumb.
yeah, it's like any game in the past 20 years. If you want to buy it, if you want to play it on a different platform, a different storefront, you have to buy
You have
it.
to buy the game
Like
again.
that's just how video games work. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's how they've always worked. Like it's just the way it goes. Now
Every
you can
so
find
often.
the
There are
rare
very rare
exception.
times.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
You can find the
Exactly.
rare exception where that's not the case. But 95% of games are going to require you to buy the game on that storefront.
Yeah.
The thing is, everybody knows that too. So
Yeah,
that's
it's
the
nothing
reason it
new.
frustrates me. Yeah, that's the reason it frustrates me so much, because everyone's acting like they don't understand that, and they're acting
Right.
like Tarkov's doing something like
Evil and money
that's
grabbing and
yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah,
crazy,
like
guys. It's
oh, the same
crazy.
company that once tried to launch the Unheard edition are now trying to charge people again for buying on Steam. Like I seen so many false headlines that was like Tarkov players upset because they have to buy the game again once Steam launches. It's like no, you don't. You don't have to buy the game
No,
again.
yeah, it's so dumb.
Yeah. The
Dude,
only
just play through
difference,
the launcher. If you get it on Steam,
yeah,
you're
if you
like
want to play it on Steam, go to Steam, hit add game, find it in your computer, and then you can launch it from Steam. Like you can still
hey,
use you can still use your Steam freaking whatever it's called, the Steam
the
UI, like the
overlay. Yeah,
Steam
yeah, yeah.
interface. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
still use that. Like it works. I've tried it. I've done it. I
It
do
does.
it. Like
Yeah.
it's in my Steam library right now. But the it just it shouldn't even amaze me anymore that people would
No,
go to
it
these
shouldn't.
links just
But
to do that. But
it's
something
absurdly
like
annoying.
this is
Yeah.
just stupid because yeah, because I've seen
It's
so
just
many.
looking for problems.
Well, I've seen so many big companies like IGN and other people like writing like articles, and they talk in it like Tarkov's doing something anti-consumer, and it's like I just don't understand. Like, what do
Yeah,
you?
no, it's
It just makes no sense, man. It
exactly.
frustrates me because it's like I just don't understand. What's the point?
Look at
Like, why?
Blizzard. Dude, like, do you know how many times I had to buy Diablo 3 and Diablo 4 just so I could play it with other people, right? Like,
Yeah, you're
I
right.
never got
Look at Activision.
I never got
You
keys, and that
go
was on the
buy.
same fucking console, right? Or, like, on the same
Yeah, yeah.
system, PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 4, like, it never transferred. What are you guys talking about? Like, I had to buy that game over and over again. Call of Duty, same thing. Overwatch, same thing. Like, any game that you play, if you want to play it elsewhere, you have to buy it again. If you want your friend to play it and they don't wanna buy it, you have to buy it for them. It's the same fucking concept. It's the same anywhere and everywhere. It's so common in
Look
gaming.
at
It is gaming.
Call of Duty. Say you want to buy Black Ops 1, a game
Oh,
that's
shit.
13 years old. I don't even know if that's right, but somewhere around there. Say you want to go do
Yeah,
that.
it's old
Guess
as fuck,
what? It's
and
it's
it's still
$60 on
$60.
Steam.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Black Ops 2,
all of the
Black Ops
Call of
3,
Duties.
60 some dollars,
Yeah,
yeah.
all of them are $60. Like
For the base
it
game,
just
to play
yeah.
it on their launcher that you
And
already have other games of theirs on, that you should already own, like, Black Ops and things on, you know what I mean? Like,
they still sell season passes for those at full price, and you can't even use them anymore because no
you
one
guys
plays
jock
online.
that
Like
shit hard. It's wild.
yeah, yeah. I just don't understand why everyone's so hungry to like dog on BSG, even when they do something that's standard. People find that as a way to just reverse it into something that it's not. It I don't
As the
understand
BS
it. I
it
mean,
as
I do. It's clicks,
it
it's interaction,
is
it's engagement. It's everybody loves to hate on Tarkov. That's the popular thing to do. All the cool kids are doing it. That's like the preppy kids at school. They're all in that gang that hates Tarkov. That's what it is. But it's still just something like this, you're blatantly lying when you
yeah,
try
it's
to
just false
insinuate that you
information.
had to buy
Yeah,
Tarkov again. Yeah,
yeah,
and everybody who knows video games knows that. You can go check any game right now, launcher to launcher. You are buying it for that launcher. You
yeah.
bought the game on BSG launcher. You do not get the game on Steam launcher. Guess what? When we're in game and I'm in the raid and you're in the raid and you see me and I see you, it doesn't matter what launcher you
Yeah, what
launched it
launcher
from.
you launch from.
Nothing's changing.
No.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And God, it
At
makes me
all.
mad.
It's frustrating because it's like you said, it's flat out lying, it's false information, and it's just
Yeah,
dumb.
and
It's one of the dumbest things
it's
to nitpick and, like, try to start shit over. It's ridiculous.
And it's
And
bad
I
press, and so many idiots believe it, and so many people pick it up and like, oh, look what Tarkov's doing, another
right.
money grab. Oh, look at them. BSG's the most money hungry development studio. It's like the opposite of that, and
Yeah,
it just,
yeah.
oh my god,
It's literally the opposite. The BSG hate train has gone on long enough and it's gone too far. And I think that if anything, like, sure, if you're still holding on to the grudge of Unheard, whatever, like, get over it. It's to a degree, right? Um, but at the same time, like, they have gone above and beyond and proved themselves as a stand-up company that care about the game, that care about the community, that care about the life cycle of the game, and are not trying to ruin it in any way, shape, or form. They're trying to do what's right for the company that has to make money as well as the player base. And they took it as far as to even say, you know what? You guys don't even have to buy the other editions. Just buy the base game and all your shit transfers. No companies do that. Like, it's just not how that works, guys. It's not how that works. It's
yeah.
always been the case. Um,
And look at all the new content we're talking about. This whole episode has been about new content. Like,
yeah,
this is a
that's it.
game I bought years ago, and this
Right.
is new content that's coming out. Like, and then what they say in that we read, they plan to support it for 5 years
5
after
plus
1.0.
years.
Like,
Yeah,
that would
minimum.
mean Tarkov will be a 15 to 16-year project. That's nuts. That does not happen. Like, this
But you had to buy
proves
once.
for anyone,
Twice if you
yeah,
want it on 2
yeah,
different launchers. Oh,
right, yeah.
how
But this
dare they?
proves to anybody who ever wonders, like, about bias and about things that, like, we always say BSG, we take the good approach, and then everybody else always trashes them. If you've ever wondered, like, if that's true that people just trash them to trash them, this proves it right here, because
Yeah,
that is all this is. This is a this is a nothing
slanderous
burger that
nonsense.
everybody
Yeah.
knows about, and every gaming magazine and gaming journalist, they all know how it works. They know that every company runs the same way. Like, that's just the way launchers work. You buy the game on the launcher, you get the game on the launcher. If you could just
Yep.
take the game from launcher to launcher to launcher, how's Steam going to make money? Is Steam going to put the time and effort in to put in, like, uh achievements, and because Steam has to do work too. When Tarkov
Right.
comes to their
Achievements,
platform,
Steam
they got
profile
to do
stuff,
work. Yeah,
profile
they
or
got to do
Steam
work for that
cards.
game too.
Yeah.
So it's like they're not going to just
Servers.
do that for free. They have to get something out of it. So it's like if everyone could just transfer the game from the BSG launcher to the Steam launcher, Steam's getting nothing in sales. So they're not going to agree to that. Like, it's common sense, and people just act like they don't understand, and it just drives me nuts.
Yeah, there's no excuse for it. It's it's
Yeah,
ridiculous. It
sorry.
really is. It's
I just,
annoying.
yeah, it is. It
But
really is.
so yeah, if you feel opposite of that, leave a comment. We'd love to have a conversation about it. You're wrong, but we'd still like to
Yeah.
talk to you about it. Again, if any of you were at the Tokyo Game Show and you have information about Terminal or anything new with Terminal or just want to chat, let us know. Love to talk to you too. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. It helps us out tremendously and it keeps you up to date with everything we've got going on. I would like to say thanks to our subscribers and a special thanks to our channel members. If you would like to help support the channel, consider becoming a member below. We'll catch you next week. See ya.